Hello, my name is Michael Garrick, and this is PoppinCulture Movie Reviews. My guest today is Ben G. He's a video creator. Thank you so much for coming on to the movie review.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem, man. The movie that we'll be reviewing is Just Go With It. Ben chose the movie. Just Go With It is one of Adam Sandler's famous movies. Before we get into the movie, this will be a 100% spoiler review. But before we get in, Ben, do you think they should watch it?
Yeah, definitely. If you like laughing, go for it. I know a lot of people don't like Adam Sandler because they think he's like too cheesy, but I loved it. You know, it's something like, you know, the whole family can enjoy. Obviously, there's like a little bit of a tad bit of like adult stuff in there, but just a barely. Like, you know, it's more probably one of Sandler's like less, you know, explicit movies, but my family loved it. You know, we loved it too. I loved it, so it was just really funny. Yeah, so definitely go check it out.
Ben says go watch it. So we're gonna have two different viewpoints on this movie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so past this point, 100% spoilers. So what you think of the story, man?
I thought it was a pretty cute story, I guess, you know. It was just you know, guys, the movie just starts off with Adam Sandler, you know, big nose guy, you know, play on Jewish people. And, you know, it was like fiance girl's about to get married to. He finds out she's trying to marry him for his money. And, you know, so this guy just like, I think he leaves and like goes to a bar and then meets some other girl there. And I just can't remember after that, but I just like remember like he met some other girl and, you know, but he's married or he's still in a, like, I think they're separated. I can't remember for a fact, but, you know, he meets some other girl and like, you know, he tells her that he's single and then she's like, she thinks he's single too, but then like she finds out that he's not. And he's like, oh, no. Like, you know, I called it off. You know, then he gets his assistant. He's a doctor or whatever, a surgeon or something like that. He has his assistant, Jennifer Aniston. Yeah. I love her. To just pose as his wife or ex-wife or to be or something like that. And, you know, it's just a crazy like roller coaster with a bunch of like weird stuff going on.
Yeah. If I take one little step back, in the beginning of the movie, he has the big Jewish nose.
Yeah.
And he finds out that the woman that he was going to marry was only going to marry for the money. And then he goes to a bar afterwards. But he still has the ring on, but he's already called off the marriage. Mm-hmm. So out of nowhere is this gorgeous woman that meets him at the bar. And he's like... he still has the ring on. She points out the ring. And he just talks about how horrible his marriage is and he's getting divorced. Like, he's just lying from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he takes the girl home, and then they cut to, like, 5 years later. He had plastic surgery on his nose. He's a plastic surgeon. And it literally goes from, like, that to, like, this whole different plot point. And... when it came to the movie in general, before we go any deeper, do you think they can make that movie in 2020?
I don't know about that. It just for the time it served, I think it was just fits that time, you know. I can obviously tell when I'm watching this, like, this is probably a couple years older, you know.
Yeah, this came out in 2011.
12, yeah.
If this came out in 2020, like, they would have called it out for, like, fat shaming. Like,
you're right.
It was... because the whole movie is just, it was like, hey, if you don't like who you are, you got to change it. Yeah. Like the whole movie. And then I have the cast right here. Very funny comedian, actually. Mm-hmm. Well, Adam Sandler's a very funny comedian also. But they had Nick Swartzen. He was the guy that, like, he had the small penis. Apparently, Adam Sandler gave him a... Yeah,
it was like his cousin or something. Yeah. It was funny. It was so funny. My favorite part was, like, when... I think he went to the office and then I just can't remember. You might remember, but like he said something. He was trying to flirt with some girl there. I think he's trying to flirt about his wiener or something like that.
Yeah, and then said, we just put the new one on.
Yeah, that's what Adam Sandler called him out on that. And that was so funny. Do you know what he said?
I can't remember. Like I said, I watched it yesterday and just to rewatch it again. Mm-hmm. And it was just one of those lines where it was like, yo, why would you say that now?
Yeah.
And then his assistant, she didn't make it no better. Like, yeah, I was in the room when.
Oh yeah, that's what she's like. I saw it or something like that. Yeah, that's funny.
You went from having the belly button to now having a real penis. So it's like, I'm not a big fan of kid actors, but I feel like those two, like, they knew what kind of movie they were in, and they played themselves very well. Yeah,
especially that little girl. That girl, she was good.
Yes. The one thing I would give Adam Sandler, and this is I'm a pop culture nerd, but when he was doing Big Daddy, they interviewed him, and they literally this interviewer just asked him straight, like point blank, was like, "You ever notice that you just have gorgeous women as your love interest?" And he was like, "Have you ever noticed that these are my movies?" So, like, the woman in this movie is not just attractive. Like, she is, like, supermodel attractive. Like, it was just, like, a gorgeous, she's a school teacher.
And just go with it, right? Yeah, yes. Especially that waterfall scene.
Yes. I saw that, like, twice yesterday.
Don't tell your wife.
No, she probably be trying to watch with me. But, you know, so they ended up having sex on the beach, and then she sees the ring. He has to lie, and every lie in this movie is just so forced. Yeah, every lie is just like, no, I can just say this. Especially the scene about the kids, because it's like, there's no point in this movie where he has to say, "Oh, those are my kids." He could say, "Oh, those are kids before we got married." Yeah. But I'm skipping too far here. The connection, the scene where they're introducing his assistant as his wife, and they meet the new girl.
I think it's in like a restaurant or something. Yep.
Do you remember it all? Because like I said, I just saw it. Like, I thought that was a very, like, hilariously mean scene where I don't know why I keep forgetting her name from Friends.
Jennifer Aniston.
She's just, like, talking trash the whole dinner. Yeah. Like, just like, and like the poor girl is just like, oh.
Yeah. I can't really remember too much. Okay. I should have rewatched the movie, but I saw it like a couple months ago.
Okay. Do you like the cameos?
Yeah, I can't remember who made a cameo though.
David Hasselhoff made the cameo where he couldn't move his face because he had too much plastic surgery.
Oh yeah, I think that was funny. I remember that. Yeah, I just can't remember too much, but I remember some guy who couldn't move his face. It was like at that party, right? Yep.
Yeah. My favorite cameo would have to be, and not saying he has to be in a movie, but like, it was cool to see him, was Dave Matthews. I was like, oh, that's where he's been. That's what happened to him, and it was cool to see him in the movie, and even Nicole Kidman for the small part she had. When this movie, it spends 40 minutes before they actually go to Hawaii. Where if you remember the trailers, all the trailers were mostly them in Hawaii. So I was like, man, we've been watching this a long time. When are they getting to Hawaii? So it's like 40 minutes in, and then they finally get to Hawaii. Do you feel like when they get to Hawaii, the story kind of like, now they have a good tempo, or do you feel like they kind of like, they should have rushed a little bit more to get to Hawaii?
I think that maybe it could have been a little more earlier, but I think it was good. You know, it really kept us like wondering what's going to happen next. Like, when are they going to hurry up and go there? And I think like when they got to Hawaii, it was like, that's when the story really got more interesting, you know, because they run into like their, I think Jennifer Aniston, I don't remember her name in the movie, but she like ran into like her old school friends or something. They're like, oh, we didn't know you were here. And it's just like, you know, more lies, and it was just something else.
And it was just like every lie was just forced, and that's why I was just like, no, they could definitely like just, none of this has to happen. But I understand in movie, you know, Adam Sandler, they have to keep going the movie.
Yeah, fun fact, Adam Sandler, one of my video editing teachers, I went to school with Adam Sandler, went to acting school with him.
Really?
Yeah, over in New York.
Okay. Adam Sandler went to acting school.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. A lot of, like, I think comedians or funny people have some kind of training.
True. Yes, that makes sense. Makes sense. That's also hilarious that Adam Sandler went to acting school.
Yeah, small world.
Yeah. Yeah, very small world. You'll learn like more, maybe more do you get into your business. I know with stand up, it's a very small circle. You'll meet people that met people or know people like very quickly just by networking. You think like there's so many people in your field, but it's really not. Whatever you do. But I'm sorry to get back to the movie. When did you realize like, oh, they're gonna make him and the assistant get together?
Oh, that's a good one. I can't remember exactly, but I knew something was gonna happen, like towards maybe like when they went to the waterfall. Everyone's like looking at the other girl.
Yeah, the model.
Yeah, the model. But then Jennifer Aniston, she also surprises everyone with her body. So I just think like. I think you could tell like something was gonna happen with like Sandler and her in that movie. So,
yeah. I don't mean to skip because I wanted to make sure we talk about it in the review. They don't do it that much anymore. Maybe they do it in kid movies, but I don't watch. But how do you feel about that nostalgic? We're going shopping. You gotta watch me wear all these outfits scenes. How do you feel about that?
Like before the dinner, like when you took her to like the expensive stores.
Yeah, because for me it was more nostalgia. But like, I remember how these scenes were shot. Like, she's gonna put all these outfits on. She's already attractive, but we're gonna put glasses on her. Now let's take these glasses off. She's more attractive.
Yeah.
For me it was just like, oh yeah, they used to do that all the time.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, they used to do it all the time. I thought that was it was very cliche, but I was like, it was good to see it after not seeing it for a while. Did you ever? Okay, we're going towards the end, but yes, it was a scene where they were at the pool, and I guess he saved one of the boy from drowning. Maybe I think that's what happened. And out of nowhere, they go from like this guy's just been lying to everybody to be like, you know what, he's a good guy. Did you like laugh at that, or did you think like, oh, that was a good plot point?
I thought it was pretty good. It was funny. You talking about the part where like he like taught him how to swim or something? Yeah. Yeah, it showed like, oh, this guy's like got a good heart,
Yeah, at the line.
So he like took the kids out and everything, and she saw, oh my gosh, like he actually cares about my kids, and he's bonded with them, so like he kind of started feeling a little closer to her. So
I was just like, okay, that's all it took. And then out of nowhere, apparently him and the new girlfriend are actually supposed to get married, and he changes his mind and marries the assistant.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay, this is 20 minutes left. They got to get all this in.
Can't forget like the part though, when I think they tried to separate like the model, and there was this other guy who came on the trip with him. He's like posing as like a German doctor or something like that.
Yeah, it's the same guy with the penis.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, him. Yeah, he had like I remember. He was lying too, and I remember this one part where like they went off to like this one tiki bar or something. Yes. Like, oh my gosh, my sheep's like dying, and she's like, oh, help him, you're a doctor. He's like, I don't know what to do. And then like he just like goes over there, and starts like giving it a Heimlich or something, or sheep PR as he said, sheep PR because the sheep CPR, sheep PR. Yep. My mom had a good laugh with that one. Nice. Somehow he like brought this sheep back to life or something. It was something else.
Yes. Another thing, because you're a video editor and video creator, did you notice how many times his watch switched wrists?
Oh, I actually did not pay attention to that. This was also, I watched this movie like prior to when I actually started like taking editing seriously. Okay. Nowadays when I watch a movie, I really pay attention to the shots and like all that kind of stuff too. And when I was going to acting school, I paid attention to like the story and the acting techniques. But now I've been paying attention to like both of those things. So if I watched it now, I'd probably pick up on it.
Okay. The soundtrack, I would admit, was great for this movie.
Mm-hmm. I think it was good.
It was a very good blend of music. Even when it got to the island, they made sure like it was island music, but it wasn't forced. Yeah, and I thought that was very clever. But at the end of the movie, like all the cameos were very random in my opinion. But at the end of the movie, when I saw Andy Roddick, do you know who that is?
The tennis player.
Yes. Him and the girl he was trying to date on the.
Oh yeah. And like you find out like he's like gay or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is. I was just like, man, Adam Sandler has a lot of friends, and like, so
Yeah, man.
that's good. That's one thing I give to Adam Sandler. If you're a friend of his, you know you got a paycheck coming eventually.
Yep. He's one of my inspirations.
Yeah, man. He was my first actual movie review on this channel.
Oh, okay.
I reviewed Hubie Halloween.
Oh, yeah, I didn't finish watching that movie.
Shaq actually does good in that movie, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you believe this movie will become a part of pop culture?
Probably not. Maybe not. I don't hear too many people talking about it, but I have some friends. They obviously, they're kind of more hard on the critiques of like Adam Sandler. It's possible, but I wouldn't say. I haven't really heard much about this movie lately. Yeah, I think maybe something like Uncut Gems per se, like that I can definitely see that leaving more of an impact.
Okay. Cool. Well, 1 through 10, what would you give this movie?
I knew you were gonna ask me that question. I'd give it just personally, since I'm a fan of Sandler, I'd give it like a 7. So it's it's a little high,
No, it's your opinion, man. That's good. I'll give the movie a 3. And
yeah, I knew we were gonna have different.
But I definitely think if you're a chill day and you just want to laugh, I think it's definitely you can get a few good chuckles in. Mm-hmm. But thank you so much for coming on to the movie review. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans?
Yeah. So follow your dreams and follow your passions. You never know where life will take you.
Nice. Thank you again, and you guys have an amazing day.